Hey, welcome back to Modern Era Code. In the last video, we focused on building our book page, where we could go in and book a service, and we built out the API route to handle booking that service. But we can't yet see the services that have been booked. So in this video, we'll focus on building our admin dashboard. Let's dive in. We can start by closing out all of the things that we don't need. Go ahead and close all this. And what we're after is our admin dashboard. So first, let's build the route. Under our app directory, we can create a new file here. We will name it admin/page.tsx. We'll use our React snippets here to generate the boilerplate. Rename this to admin page. Go ahead and give that a save. And if we go back to our UI, we can test and see if this is here. Go back to our UI and we can see we have our admin page. Let's head back over to VS Code. And in here, we can start changing things around. So first, we're going to make this a client component with the use client directive. We're going to have to import a few things. So let's go ahead and make those imports. Let's get rid of this default one. In here, we're going to use our use router from Next. We're going to have a state for the bookings so we can map over them. And we're going to have a use effect in here. This will handle fetching the bookings or routing us back to the login page if we don't have authentication. And then for now, in our return statement, we're just going to throw in a simple main tag with an h1 and a div, and we'll map over the bookings that are available. Now, we don't have this fetch bookings built just yet, so let's go ahead and comment that out. Let's give this a save and go check our UI. Okay, back over in our UI, you can see we don't actually have our admin login page yet. So we can see our redirection logic is actually working. Let's go back over to VS Code. Let's comment this guy out real quick. Back over here, and you can see we have our admin dashboard header. Perfect. So now let's build that fetch booking API route. Over in VS Code, we can actually uncomment this here. And this is going to be a function that we define here in the component just to make things simple. It's a fetch bookings async function that hits our API/bookings endpoint. When it gets a result from that, it sets the local state of bookings here. But we need to define our get call in our /API/bookings. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. This one is super simple. We're just calling our get bookings function here from our lib that we defined in the previous video. And then we're returning the results. If you don't remember what this is just returning the array of bookings that we're managing here. Okay, so let's go test out our new API route. First off, let's give this guy a save. And let's go book a service. Over here, UI. We can do something like Modern Era Code user at mac.com. We want a really good website. And let's go ahead and give them a date for it. And let's book. Awesome, we get our alert saying the booking was successful. We can go check it and see. There it is. And since this is persisted outside of the context of those functions, this is actually going to persist across refreshes, even if you leave this page and come back. Okay, this is great. This is working. But we don't want just anybody to be able to come to this route and see this. So let's make it a password protected route with a very rudimentary implementation. Back over in VS Code, what we can do is uncomment this code here. And what this is saying is it's going to try to get an admin auth item from local storage. If it doesn't get a true value, it's going to reroute us to /admin/login. Now we don't have this route defined yet, so let's go ahead and define that. So over here in our admin directory, if we create a new folder, we can do login/page.tsx. We will use our React snippets yet again to create the boilerplate code, and we will rename this to admin login page. Perfect. Now in here, we are going to make this a client component with the use client directive, because we are going to be implementing use state hook as well as our use router yet again. We're going to have a couple of state variables in here, so let's go ahead and paste those guys in. One here is for the credentials in the form that we'll be using. One is for the error state. Let's go ahead and define our form. So instead of this div, we're going to have a main tag with a header that says login, a form with a couple inputs, one for your username, one for your password, a button to submit the form. Now, as with any form, we do have a handle login method that we will define. So let's go ahead and do that. This handle login method is a bit complicated, so I'm going to paste it in and kind of walk through it. So first things first, we are preventing the default behavior, not letting the screen refresh while the form is submitting. We're going to hit our /API/login route with a post method and the credentials. If we get a valid result, we'll create an item in local storage named admin auth with a value of true and redirect the user to the admin page. Otherwise, we will set the error. We will clear out the credentials in the form, and we will make sure to remove that local storage value. Like I said, this is a very crude implementation of authentication, but for our purposes here, it will work. Okay, let's give that a save, and let's go see if we can see this guy in action. So here on our admin page, if we try to log in, we can give it our credentials, and you can see it doesn't actually do anything. That's because our route API/login is not yet defined. So let's go ahead and do that. Back over in VS Code, under our API directory, we can create a login/route.ts file. In here, we're going to have to import a couple of things, mainly next request and next response from next/server. And we'll need to define our post route handler. That'll look something like this. Now we are trying to import this login function here from our @lib/login. That again is not defined yet, so let's go ahead and define that. So if we go to our lib directory, create a new file, name it login.ts. This is going to take in our username and password. And this is just checking that if we're making the username admin, password admin123 to return true, to otherwise return false. Okay, we go back over to our route, make sure everything's happy. Looks good. Admin page, looks good. All right, let's head back to our UI. And now let's try to log in. Log in. You can see it redirected us back to our admin dashboard. Perfect. Now I did have to kill the server and restart it, so let's go ahead and do this booking again. User at mec.com. A really good website. We'll make the date different just so we can see. All right, go back to our admin dashboard, and there it is. And you can see if I refresh, if I go back home, go back, it's still there. Amazing. And that's about it for this one, guys. I know it was a bit of a shorter video, but we touched a lot of crucial points. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you like these kind of videos where we code side by side. Otherwise, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video where we start setting up our services tab. Bye for now.